everyone, it's Amy Sherman from MLive and Michigan's Best, and we bring you another edition of Sweet Treat of the Week, brought to you by Michigan Sugar, the makers of Pioneer Sugar. And today, we're kind of going off the beaten path again, and we're going to talk to our friends at Gull Lake Distilling about how they use sugar, not just in the distilling process, but also in making cocktails that you can have at their tasting room. So I'd like to welcome Mr. Caleb Rose, who is the service manager and the head mixologist at Gull Lake Distilling. Caleb, welcome.
Hi, thanks.
So you're gonna make for us today a mojito, which is probably gonna incorporate some Michigan sugar in it. But before we get to that, let's talk about what's happening at Gull Lake Distilling, because you're a little bit newer on the distilling spirit scene here in Michigan, right?
Yes, we are. Yeah, we've been open for a couple months now. Obviously, with the all the pandemic and everything kind of slowing us down, we were intending on opening in March, and then all the different restrictions and everything like that kind of set us back. But we took those opportunities to kind of hone in some of the stuff that we were not 100% sure on, expanded our garden area so we'd have more seating for everybody, and just basically took the opportunity, you know, made the best of a kind of rough situation.
Kind of a terrible situation. I talked
Yeah.
to Ted Kaka a couple weeks ago, and it was essentially whatever you thought the business plan was, the whole thing kind of had to transform and change in a matter of weeks, right?
Yeah, it did. We had originally kind of envisioned it being a lot more focused on the spirits. We were planning on having a beer or maybe two just to kind of diversify. And when we were hit with the shutdown, basically, we were told that the only thing that we were allowed to sell at the time was to-go beer. And at that point, we cranked out. Our brewer, Ben, is just absurdly talented, and he cranked out a bunch of beers that we sold in howlers and growlers for a couple months, which was awesome because it gave us a chance to kind of still get our name out there while people weren't able to come and sit and have a cocktail. They were still able to see people posting on Facebook and things like that about these great Gull Lake Distilling beers. So it kind of gave us a base of people that maybe wouldn't have checked it out had it not been for that. So it ended up working out pretty well for us.
Well, that's really good to hear. Now, in addition to beer, you guys also, I believe, make wine, cider, and then, of course, you distill spirits, right?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, the focus has always been on the spirits, but we do make our own beer and our own wine also. We try to keep 4 beers on tap at all time. The rate of business has kind of led that to a couple times we've been down to 1 or 2, and we've had, I think, 23 unique beers altogether since March now. So we turn everything over so quickly with the small batches. Everything stays very fresh, and we can be kind of on the trend of what people are asking for. And then with the wines, we've done, 2 different red wines, 2 different white wines, and 2 different fruit wines. We've done cherry and strawberry using, some local Michigan cherries for that. I mean, we've done a lot of stuff that we weren't really intending to do quite so quickly, but we've done them well from what I've seen.
Well, that's great. So the focus, though, has always been on distilling, and I can actually see you're still there in the background. Now, does yours still have a name?
No, it doesn't. If it does, I haven't been told what it is.
You got to get out of that.
I've heard it called some names, but I don't think any of them are official.
Or proper. But well, let's talk about the distilling process, because you do use Michigan sugar in some of the liquors that you're making, specifically rum. And why does it play such a key role in that spirit?
Well, rum, I mean, the process of distilling is basically turning sugar into alcohol. I mean, that's kind of at the root of distilling. And with rum, it is just sugar. I mean, there's not a lot else going on. There's no grains or anything. So the sugar plays a huge, huge part. And being able to get Michigan beet sugar from Pioneer is huge. I mean, we use brown sugar for the rum, and it's a great product. I've spent a lot of time in this industry. I've had a lot of rums, and I would put ours right there with any.
What do you think sets your rum apart? What is it? Is it a flavor profile? Is it the fact that you're using the Michigan sugar? What do you think it is that makes it a little bit?
It's the smoothness more than anything for me. A lot of times when you have a clear rum, it has that bite, you know, that alcohol bite. And historically, I've been more into spice rums and more of the aged stuff. And this is the first clear rum that I've been able to just drink straight and feel like the flavor is good on its own.
Nice. Well, we're going to use some of your rum, I believe, in our pick for sweet treat of the
Sure.
week. Is a mojito from Gull Lake Distilling. So Caleb, walk us through the process as to how you make this mojito.
All right. So first thing we're going to do, I'm going to take a couple of mint leaves, and the trick, you slap them, kind of releases the oils and everything, gives you a good start. Throw that in there. See the mint and a lime wedge. And then we're going to take simple syrup that's also made with Pioneer sugar that we make ourselves here.
And do you do a 50-50 ratio of sugar to water usually?
We do. Absolutely. Yep. 1-to-1.
One good thing about simple syrup is you can make it ahead of time, keep it in the fridge, and it's going to be there forever.
Yeah, we have a couple cocktails that have a brown sugar simple syrup, which is right here, also made with Pioneer brown sugar. So we got the limes, the mint, the lime juice, and the simple syrup. And you just give it a good muddle. Kind of mix everything up, get all the mint and the lime smushed around real good. And then you add your rum.
Hey, you got to show me your label there from Gull Lake. Let me see that. Oh, there we go. Nice.
Yeah, absolutely. So what we do is we call it our Morton mojito because the town of Galesburg was originally called Morton when it was incorporated. So it's pretty standard mojito, to be honest, as far as the ingredients go. But nobody else is using our rum, obviously, and that plays a big part.
Now, Caleb, why is it important to shake this drink as opposed to stir it?
Well, you're going to want to get everything stirred up in there. I mean, when you stir a drink, you're not going to have all the flavors. I mean, kind of leaves something lacking, in my opinion. And a traditional mojito would actually have the ice muddled in as well, so that it leaves it a little bit almost like a slushy drink, sort of. But we don't do that. We strain it right over fresh ice.
Looks good.
Yep. And then, if I was over by the gun, I would add a little bit of soda from the gun, but I brought some soda water over to throw right on the top there.
Club soda, right?
What's that?
Club soda, right?
Yep. And then we go with the lime wedge and a mint sprig. And that is your mojito right there.
Beautiful, Caleb. I love it. Well, that's our pick for sweet treat of the week. It is a mojito from Gull Lake Distilling. Hey, Caleb, where do we get more information about the distillery and maybe plan a visit to come see you guys?
Well, if you want to come see us, we are in Galesburg. We're at 92 Michigan Avenue. It's kind of a setback off the road a little bit. It's right behind Pizza King. And if you want to find us online, we're very active on Facebook. It's just Gull Lake Distilling Company. We try to make sure and stay on top of all of our events. We try to make sure that we have food trucks out really often. So we do get a lot of questions about our food situation. We don't make our own food. So the Facebook page is really important to see if we're going to have food trucks out. And otherwise, you can bring food from anywhere. Bring it and enjoy it in our garden. So.
That's awesome. And I know you have an expanded patio for this summer. So it's beautiful. I've seen pictures of it, and it looks like a great place to hang out and maybe enjoy refreshing.
Yeah, it's really been the focal point of the place so far.
That's awesome. Congratulations, Caleb, on finally opening right in the middle of a pandemic. It's something to be proud of.
Thank you.
All right. Well, thanks for that. The Sweet Treat of the Week is brought to you by Michigan Sugar, the makers of Pioneer Sugar. And if you want to get more information about this recipe, head to mlive.com.